Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to be talking about hip stability and strengthening. I'm going to show you 2 to 3 exercises that you can implement in your day-to-day routine that are awesome for snowboarders and skiers. So yeah, stick with us. Before we get started, my name is Mark. Again, I am with Mobility Duo. I am 50% with my wife, Sarah. We are health professionals and athletes working primarily with athletes for health, prevention, rehab, and strengthening, mobility, flexibility, etc., etc. So if this is your first time, thanks for joining. Give us a like. We really appreciate it. It helps us out. Otherwise, let's get started. So, why hip stability and strengthening? So recently we've been getting a lot of requests of people, athletes complaining of kind of front side or backside leg pain. This is extremely vague. It could be a million different reasons, but it just got me thinking maybe we need to go back to some foundational work. So if you don't already know, hopefully I can find a picture of what I'm talking about here, but we want to work on kind of that foundational stuff. If you look at a pyramid, on the very bottom is going to be kind of that symmetry, that stability, that mobility. Those are the things that we need to have a good foundation of and make sure that both of these legs that we have are even. If we don't have that, then our bodies tend to rely on other structures to make up the difference, especially in that strength, flexibility area. So we want to make sure we have a great foundation of those things first before we move on to the strengthening. If you feel like you have a good foundation for strengthening, then you can move on to the plyometrics, the power, things like that to really elevate your performance. So why are these important? Why am I focusing on kind of hip stability and all that jazz and all these big words? Well, the hips are what connect your torso to your legs, so they're very important, especially when you're on a snowboard. When you're on skis, we are consistently relying on our hips when we're going down a mountain for that stability. If you don't have that, let's say you hit a couple of bumps, you're going to go flying off into the abyss and essentially look like a yard sale just occurred. Okay, so Sarah is my lovely demonstrator. She's my athlete today. So here's how we're going to set it up. Sarah is going to put the band, so we attached it here just as an example, to the refrigerator. Again, we want something stable, so that could be a door, a table, something that's not going to move that you don't have to worry about. So Sarah attaches it to the outside, the lateral portion of her knee. Okay, so this is so we can work on that glute med. Very important for hip stability, for keeping that hip up or down, especially when on a board. Or especially for in any single leg stance, if you're running, walking, anything like that. So specifically, this is for that stability portion for that hip. Sarah is going to get her back leg back into kind of a half squat so she can show us what that looks like. Good, so that's a reverse lunge. Sorry, not a half squat, reverse lunge. Her foot is back. Her knee right now is going to stay hovering about, let's say about 3 to 4 inches above. This band is going to be pretty tight, so you're going to toy with that kind of the tautness or the resistance, thank you, of this band. So I really want you to challenge. If your knee starts to go inward, then that's going to be your external cue to keep that knee straight forward. So this is the first exercise. She's just going to stay in this reverse lunge position. Okay, what we're doing here is we're working on isometric movement with that quad, kind of in that single leg squat position. We're working on that glute. We're working on that glute med over here to keep that hip even with that band. Okay, so she's going to stay here. Let's start at 60 seconds. So let's say 60 seconds has gone by. She can get back up. We're going to do both legs for that one. I would like 3 to 5 sets for that. Okay, if you feel like that's too easy, then we can move on to the next and final exercise. Okay, so let's say Sarah has graduated from that isometric work, so she's going to get the same setup. We'll show the same leg here, so she'll get back. Now, this is where the single leg hip stability stance comes in. So, what Sarah's going to be doing, knee is hovering again. She's going to drive through that right heel. That knee is going to come up to about 90 degrees. Boom, squeeze that glute. Excellent. And then back down, nice, slow, and controlled. Keep that knee hovering below. And then back up, drive, boom. She's activating that glute, good, and back down. She's standing up nice and tall. She's breathing, good, and back up. Same thing. We're going for that 12 to 15 repetition range for this one. And back down. Let's show them one more time. Good. And you might need to toy with this band a little bit. Keep it a little bit lower so you can clear your knee as you're coming up. One more time. We'll show them one more advanced movement for this. So this time, pause for 1 second. Sarah, are you doing okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Sarah is now going to come up on her tiptoes. So this adds an extra stability, kind of proprioception addition to it. So show us when you're going to get on your tiptoes.
Okay.
Good, right there. And then tiptoe up. Good, back down. So now you're adding that gastroc below, which does cross the knee and add to that stability as well.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay, so that's it. Let us know what you think. We really, really appreciate the feedback, good or bad. It always helps us out and improve and things like that. So if this was too easy, let us know. If this was too difficult, let us know. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.